Hi, thank you so much for jumping to this channel. I'm Christy. Today I have a very amazing guest with me. I'm so excited. By the way, I grabbed him randomly. This is just me. I'm the joyful leader. So I want to always grab the joyful leader outside there to share their stories. So with me is Pastor Jeremy, and he's a pastor for
GVCF Church in Shepparton.
Yes, awesome. And if you don't know where Shepparton is, because there's a global audience outside there, it's in Australia, okay? You can Google it, you can find it, all right? So, Pastor Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. It will be a quick one. Can you please just introduce yourself to the audience? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So Jeremy's my name. We live in a country town of about 35,000 people. And I'm involved in leadership across this town, not just this church, but a local charity, which is a big food share, and leading the local pastors in a pastors' fellowship.
Thank you so much. So, Pastor Jeremy, would you please share with us how did you get saved, and why did you have a heart to serve and to show so much passion on people? Can you do that? Thank you.
For sure. It's a good question. My story is a little bit different. I'm sure you've asked a lot of people, this question, and they have maybe come from drugs or whatever their story may be. My story is a little bit different. I was raised in the church. My parents ran this church when I was little, and I grew up with the choice. It wasn't forced down my throat. So I was allowed to go to church if I wanted to. I mean, obviously it was encouraged, but I went by choice, and then I discovered God for myself. But my parents gave me a great head start. It wasn't just my parents setting my life up, but I discovered things for myself as I got older. So they gave me a great head start, and then I discovered it for myself. So I guess my story, I'd encourage people that are already Christians to invest in your children. They get to make their own choices, but you can really help them. You can take them to the table.
Thank you so much for the story. And Pastor Jeremy, I saw you there preaching. You're very gifted, first of all, and I was really focused on your message. When we're talking about eternity, I think that's a very interesting thing for those people who are not familiar about the topic and this word. Can you just give us a little bit introduction about what eternity means in Christianity and why is it so important? Thank you.
I think often we just see what's around us, and that's fine, business, getting up, earning our money, going to school, getting educated, making sure we eat, all these things. And that God has put us on this earth, to live that life. However, I think sometimes, at least people that I know, we forget that there is another side. I think some of us think that there's no God, and for those folk, they would expect that nothing happens after you die. But what I've discovered is that a lot of people are spiritual people. They believe in a God or God and the afterlife. And we as Christians, we very much believe that there is an afterlife. So we're all going to die. You're going to die. I'm going to die. I mean, I don't mean to be negative, but eventually we all die. And then after that, something happens. And I guess my encouragement to people would be, think about, well, what happens after I die? And as Christians, we have some great answers in that space to show people how to navigate the afterlife and how to prepare for the afterlife.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm going to sit here for the next 3 hours because I have too many questions, but I know there's many people waiting for you outside there. So maybe the next question I have is, because this is all about leadership in our channel as well. We're very passionate about raising up new leaders, next generations, and also empowering the current leaders to empower more future leaders. So when you talk about leadership, what is your biggest advice to people, especially the younger generations outside there? What would be your words for them? Thank you.
Absolutely, great question. I'm passionate about leadership myself. You've got me on my pet topic. I love leadership. My number one piece of advice is humility. And I think if we want to be a great leader, we have to keep the same character no matter how high up we get or no matter how much influence we have. A lot of people lose their humility when they get more important, or they go higher and higher. And I think it's a great challenge when we're successful or we receive more praise, that it kind of changes us and we lose our humility, our teachability. So my number one piece of advice would be to be humble. And I do learn a lot from the greatest leader of all time, Jesus. I just copy everything he says on leadership and try and apply it myself. And he did say that we need to die to ourselves. And leadership is all about serving others. It's not about what we can get out of it or prestige or status. It's not about that. We may receive those things, but we're not looking for it. We're actually looking to serve people and to love people. And our focus needs to be on those we're leading and blessing them, not on them blessing us.
Wow, I love your advice regarding leadership, and that's definitely correct. And these are the basic foundations, because in Bible it also says Jesus actually he's a king of kings, but he's actually washing feet for his disciples, right? So I think that's a reminder for everyone outside there. If you're CEO, if you are looking for leadership advices, this is the best advice I've also learned in my journey as a leader. So thank you so much. Now the next question I've got is, running a church, right, it's not easy. And it's like a community and networking as well. So I think the challenging part is we all love people. I know sometimes you might say we don't like some people, but we love people. Yeah, it's very hard not to love because we are loved by Jesus. My question is, when dealing with people, right, this is very, very tricky, but business is all about people. You bring value and stuff to people. So when it comes to networking or community and things like that, what are your advices? Like when you're dealing with people, what's your biggest, I would say, golden rules that it helps you? Thank you.
Well, the overall rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the biggest thing. But underneath that, I'm a big believer in coming in low. So coming in as a servant, not coming in, even though I have a strong leadership gift, and often I will be the leader or a leader in the room, I'm very mindful not to kind of lord over people. Come in low, come in humble. I know I'm repeating myself now, but I think that whether it's somebody from, the boardrooms of Collins Street right through to somebody who might be on drugs in the gutter, I will treat them the same way and come in low. And I think what I found in my own leadership is that you'll get respect from both, because it's not all about you, it's about them. And people are quite smart, they're quite perceptive. When they see that you're genuine, you're transparent, it's not all about you, they will warm to that more often than not, and you'll find yourself with an ally very quickly.
This is the best advice I've ever received regarding running a community, because I'm running a network and sometimes I'm still learning. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. I'm not actually. I need a lot of advice like the one you just said. Sometimes when you're so focused on running a business, you might be distracted that you need to get profit. It's normal, but you have to keep reminding yourself that your purpose, why you're doing this, and it's about people. And exactly when you say landing low, that's probably something I need to learn more. I really need to learn it more. So thank you so much for your advice. Well, I really want to keep you longer, but maybe next time I'll invite you to the Zoom. We can have another interview. I know everybody's needing you right now, so thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
God put things in me personally, so it wasn't. It wasn't.
Okay, keep going. Okay.